Well, we've joined us over at Furness Lakes in West Sussex. We're fishing on the Kiln Lake today. I'm here for 3 nights as it's the Easter holidays. I haven't really done the fishing yet. I popped over to Birds Green earlier on this week. As you saw, I had that really nice 17 pound 2 common in my first video. I'm here with my mate Robbie. We're here for 3 nights, like I said. The lake we're fishing, it's got a good stock of fish, not so many as the other sort of lakes on the complex. It's got carp to 50. There is a 50 in here, a common I think. There's a lot of 20s, quite a few 30s, the odd 40, but the problem is finding them. There's a couple of people on the lake today. We've got a couple of people behind us, and we've got I think 3 people over the other side. There's a lot of swims. There's a lot of islands as well on this lake. In fact, I think there's 13 islands. So there's lots of areas where they can be. So at the moment, I've just sort of kept my eyes open. I'm fishing in peg 17, which is covering a channel. At the moment, I think Robbie's going to be fishing that sort of channel mostly. But I've sort of just cast a rod just to the corner of the channel, and I've put over, the top of it. I've put quite a few baits, probably about 20 baits. What I'm using today is I'm just using the nut mix from BM. It's a really nice bait, nice colour, really, it's good smelling bait. A lot of food in it as well, so it's a food bait, and it's very attractive as well. The pop-up I put out was a little squid and garlic beacon. What I did is I actually put a bit of goo on it and just sort of cast it to the spot with a little Carp Diaries PVA nugget. I'm feeling quite confident. I've only got 1 rod out at the moment. I'm backleading. I've been told that the best thing to do on it is to keep your lines pinned down. The fish swim around a lot in these lakes, especially between the islands. They like to move about, so I've been told you sort of have an hour of action and then it will go quiet, and you'll start to get pickups later on where they've just moved around. There's been a lot of fizzing just out in front of me, and when I saw that, I actually put a rod in it about an hour ago, but nothing happened. I suspect it was probably bream, so yeah, that didn't evolve into anything, but I'm quite confident. That rod went bang on the money. Really nice crack down with the lead. Just sort of pulled back with the lead when I got here, and felt it was quite, it was very smooth, but it was quite bumpy as well, so there's a bit of gravel down there, probably a feeding spot. The lake's pretty much the same the whole way around. The only thing that changes is the depths. We're actually fishing in the shallower end of the lake just because there's not really much pressure up here. The more pressure's down towards that bank, and I think it should push the fish up here possibly. The first person we spoke to has been here last night. He hasn't had anything yet. He saw 1 show, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, Robbie will be back in a minute. He's just gone to check on a mate of his. I think he's going to have to leave due to some family problems, but he's going to be coming back, and yeah, we're going to get the rods out, and we'll tell you exactly what we're doing. But I'm going to crack the kettle on and keep watching the water. So we'll speak to you in a bit.
So here we are over at Furness, a lovely looking complex, but you can use bait boats on this lake. So I'm going to take right advantage of that and use a plastic hook bait on a simple pop-up rig over BM Baits nut mix boilies. Right, let's get out, Sam.
Right, well, I'm just setting up the middle rod, and basically what I'm going to be doing is using a solid bag. I'm using a Carp Diaries bag here. These are very good meltdown time, just brilliant bags. Right, the rig I'm going to be using, I've got a very small home roll pop up there. That's just a really fruity sort of smelling sort of pop up, very sweet. There I've just got a G point size 10, very sharp micro barb, very sharp. A little bit of shrink tubing on the hair, and a bit covering the eye just to act as a kicker, just to drive that hook home. And the whole rig itself is probably about 5 inches long, probably a bit shorter. Really simple rig, but really does flip over in your hand as well. They ain't going nowhere. That's a really nice little rig. We're going to probably put that in the bait boat just so I can get it just on the drop off on the island. I've heard it's a really nice feature, and yeah, I'm going to get this out, and fingers crossed it's going to bag us. Right, well, it's approaching 4:30 now. We've finally got you know, set up. I'm just about to cast in my final rod, left dam rod. I'm going to clip up. I found a really nice area fishing over towards the reeds, quite tight to them, but on the drop off. So yeah, I'm quite confident for tonight. Are you, Robbie?
Hoping to get on, fingers crossed. The rods are positioned nicely, the bait's been put in. But
it's looking nice. I mean, the spots we got are good. There was a hell of a lot of fizzing in front, like I explained earlier. But yeah, I'm just really hoping that, you know, the fish are going to get the reds down to feed tonight. It's incredibly mild. It's due to absolutely slash it down later. We're going to get a lot of rain, so I don't know how the fish will react to that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good night, Robbie. It looks like it's going to be quite
hopefully
nice and productive.
Although we are just happy to be here, to be honest.
Like I said, we're here for 3 nights, so to our shock, we actually spoke to the bailiff. He said, you know, don't be surprised if you don't get one after that amount of time. So it does, you know, it's a funny sort of set of lakes.
Yeah.
In the summer, I think it's more of a, you know, a lot of catfish come out in the summer. There's a lot of cats in this water.
My mate had to go home due to family reasons.
Yeah, mate's had to go home. He was fishing on the Roman Lake. He's gone, so it's a bit of a shame, but he managed a really nice fish out, didn't he? He was only there for a couple of hours and he had a 19 and a couple of breams. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get the third rod out and yeah, we'll speak to that. Right, but it's now 8:30. It's still raining really heavy. Me and Robbie have just gone up to the kiosk and had our dinner. As they've got, as I explained earlier, furnace supply kiosks with microwaves and facilities in, so it's really good facilitation. Nothing as yet. To be honest, I'm not loving the rain. It's it's really coming down quite heavy. I've had to put the winter skin on the brolly. It started leaking, so that wasn't too good. But I don't know if I'm feeling confident yet. I don't know. I haven't seen anything show. I saw some fizzing. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm not too sure what's going to happen. Depending on how things go, we might be able to get one. But at this rate, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to pretty much get ready for the night, and if anything happens, I'll update you, but if it doesn't, we'll see you in the morning. Right, as you see, we'll probably see we've moved. We got all our gear around here, just because I think we've got more chance over here. There's a lot more features to fish to. It's deeper water, and a couple of guys who've just left said that they lost a couple of catfish in the night, and yeah, they've seen a couple. So we've moved, and I'm literally just about to put a rod out. I've got a running rig just with a little PVA stick, and just a nut mix dumbbell hook bait, keeping it very simple. And the mix I'm using is just a bit of hemp seed, micro pellets, ground bait, and just some maggots. I just think when the carp aren't really feeding, which they obviously aren't, maggots can sort of trigger their feeding. So I'm just going to fill this bait boat in, and we're going to get the rod out. Right, well, we're in the new swim. We're basically looking over the water now, and even though we've had quite a few birds sort of disturbing the swim on the surface, I think there's a couple of fish in the upper layers. We've seen one V across the top, and I know that it's weird, but the geezer in here yesterday lost a big catfish on a zig, so that the fish are probably up in the water. What I'm doing is I'm fishing a little zig. Well, I say a little. It's about 8 foot long. It's quite deep out there. It's an 8-foot zig. I've basically got a BM Baits little black dumbbell. It hasn't got a specific name, but if you want information on them, obviously just contact them via the website. Then we've just got 2 pieces of fake imitation maggots, from Enterprise. They're buoyant as well, so they're not going to weigh the hook bait down. I've then just got a size 12 G-point hook. Incredibly sharp, really sharp, and they're just perfect pattern for the zig presentations. And then I've got 12-pound cruise control, which is obviously a floating mono, so it's going to obviously be buoyant, a bit like double strength. I usually use double strength, but yeah, really confident this might go off. So what I'm going to do is get it out there and right, just for added confidence. Whenever I cast a zig out, I always apply a foam nugget. When you cast, it will kick the hook length away from the lead, and I like to use the fluoro rig foams from Carp Diaries. Really good, they're cheap as well, so yeah, defo, check them out. I'm going to cast this zig out.
Hold on, wait.
Well, it's 5:30. All the rods are out now. I'm fishing 2 rods because in my swim, to the right of me is incredibly snaggy, and at night I think getting to the rod in the time it usually takes to get out of the bag, the fish will be long gone. It's really snaggy. We've got, you know, it's just way too snaggy, and I don't think it's safe to have a rod down there. I've got one in the channel, and I've got one on a little overhang which I've had loads of liners on. So I think, in contrary to where we were yesterday, the fish are definitely here. So yeah,
Been getting liners all day.
I've been getting that liners, savage ones as well. Whereabouts you fishing, Robbie?
I've got one just on the tree to the left of the island, one on the reeds which follow the channel up, then I'm just going to put one that's like a little island before the channel. I'm just going to put it on the left of that because no one's fishing there. Just taking advantage of it.
It's looking quite nice. I mean, we're due again, it's just absolutely slash it down tonight, you know, sort of around the same time, so yeah, it's not looking too good. I'm considering sort of going home. If I haven't had anything but the morning and sort of about lunchtime, I'm probably going to go home. So yeah, it's been a slow session. Apart from the liner, it's been absolutely dead. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to you know, obviously just sit back and wait now until
persevere.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've put one rod out for cat because there were 2 people in here before us who lost 2 cats, so I thought it might be worth putting one out. But if Sam goes, I think I might just stay another night, see how it goes.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll keep an eye on our rods, and yeah, we'll update in a bit. It's coming up to about 7 o'clock now. It started to rain. This wasn't forecast. It was due to start at midnight tonight, but they got it wrong again, obviously. So at the moment, it's like I said earlier, it's absolutely dead. To be honest, I'm considering going back tomorrow if I haven't had anything by lunchtime. So I mean, you know, I don't think it's worth staying an extra night when the rain's, you know, and it's just the temperature's going to get a bit lower. The rain is going to really slash it down. And I think, you know, with more cold water going in the lake and it's already dead, I just think it will not fish at all. Nothing will be coming out. So, yeah, I'm considering leaving tomorrow. I think, you know, if I haven't had anything by lunchtime, I will go. There'd be no, you know, point staying. I think Robbie might stay just because obviously his dad isn't back. You know, won't be able to sort of come and get him. So, yeah, but, you know, at the moment, quite confident. To an extent. I mean, I got rods on clear spots. The whole lake sort of clay. All the bottom's clay, and there's a couple of places, you know, which is sort of gravelly. And on my left hand rod, it really went crack. And as I felt, you know, the lead settling, it was a couple of taps of gravel. So I know that's probably a feeding spot amongst the clay. Yeah, Robbie's rods are all out now. He did have a live bait on earlier, but yeah, we decided that it'd be much better off sort of just putting out a rig for carp, and if he did get a cat bite on it, then happy days. But yeah, it'd probably be worth just leaving them all on carp rods. Just obviously that's what we are here for. Have pick up a cat, you know, a bit of a bonus. But yeah, well, fingers crossed that something could happen. Not too sure yet, but yeah, rods are out on the money. We'll speak to that. Right, well, update time. It's really raining now. It's coming down really heavy. I think we're going to go home a bit later. It's really slow. Nothing's come out in the lake. Nothing's come out for a few weeks now, so there's not much point staying if nothing much is happening and we're just getting rained on. My excuse is that we're camping, we're not even fishing, so that's alright. But yeah, it's just a bit of a shame that we haven't managed to get amongst some of the fish, because there are some really big fish in here, so still time. Like, the baits are on the spot, so we just had a liner, so yeah, still hopeful, but yeah, we'll update you in a bit. It's now 1:45. We've decided we're staying tonight as well. We haven't seen anything at all, but we've just used the bait boat and placed our rigs, and they're going to stay there till tomorrow. So as you can see, we've just been doing a bit of, like, you know, roach fishing just as we're waiting. There's nothing to do otherwise.
Very successfully as well.
Yeah, we're bagging up using a London net pole as a rod. So yeah, so
Don't
yeah.
comment anything on that.
We had a nice perch though. To be fair, I was quite happy with that. We had a nice perch, but yeah, it would be quite nice to sort of get a carp or a cat. Like I said, we haven't been blogging loads. We've done a lot of walking. We were contemplating moving, so yeah, what we'll do is we'll get on with the fishing. We'll speak to you later. Right, well, here we go. 31-1. Some kind anglers then. That's a crook. So we all weighed it together, and yeah, I was quite shocked really. The way it was fighting, I thought it would be bigger, but as I know they're in here, but no, that's really happy. PB common, really happy with that. We've treated him with some Medicare, so it's all nice, and yeah, he's all ready to go back. This was just taken on a BM Baits little nut mix boilie, tipped with a little yellow pop-up and a little stick of crushed pellet. Absolutely brilliant. Let's get him back. I'm with that for it. That's good. Right, well, what we're going to do is keep watching the water. Hopefully Rob will go off, but we'll speak to him in the evening. It's approaching sort of about 6 o'clock now, so
it must be getting on a bit.
Yeah, so really nice evening. We're due to have loads more rain still. That's
again
exactly. That's the one thing which hasn't been enjoyable this session. Like I said, we were supposed to be leaving today, so the carp gods were obviously smiling down and made us stay. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to be up and off because it's really bad weather due for tomorrow, and we don't really want to get caught in it. So we will.
We will.
We'll be packing up in the rain, but yeah, it's not too bad. So.
Wait, and
I thought I would get a little video up just before we lose the light. Yeah, today obviously I'm quite happy with that fish, PB common. Yeah, it was a really nice fish. I'm just glad that we got one. You know, made the trip sort of worthwhile, sitting in the rain and, you know, move in. And I mean, we must have walked over sort of 5 miles in total, just walking around the complex. You know, we've wound the rods in, just walked round and round and round until we found some fish. Like I say, I didn't actually see anything showing off that. I saw a couple of bubbles, to be fair, but I kept trickling the bait in. When I got the bait, well, when I got the fish, sorry, on the mat, it was crapping the bait out everywhere. It had obviously been really scoffing it down, so it's a good sign that they were eating it, and they obviously like it. Like I say, I've only got one rod fishing. I've got some guys, I'll spin you around, fishing over there. You might be able to see them. Just I'll zoom in for you. There's his bivvy. He's fishing to the corner of that island, which is where I had a rod. So to be honest, I think it's a little bit unfair. Even though I was here first, it'd be a little bit unfair to sort of not allow him to have that water. I put a bit of bait down obviously when I was fishing there, and he's already had a run off it. He didn't land anything, but it was a liner basically. Yeah, he had a liner, and yeah, it's looking all right. I mean, I'm hoping that rod's going to go off. I just hope Robbie's going to get one, to be honest. But yeah, we're off tomorrow, so we'll speak to you a bit later. I'll update you before we turn in, and yeah, we'll see you a bit later or in the morning. Fingers crossed for another bite. Right, well, good morning. No fish throughout the night. I brought my rods in and gave the spot over to Robbie just because I thought it might have been able to get a bite. It would have been quite nice if both of us got a fish, as it took us a long time to get up here, and obviously it's quite a lot of money to fish here. So I'm happy we stayed instead of leaving, because we were going to leave, weren't we? It was raining and nothing was happening, so we were going to leave and get the money back on our ticket. But yeah, Robbie, what's happening on your side of things?
On my side, absolutely nothing. All night, liners. And then this morning I had like a really dodgy water take, so like we decided to reel it in, stick a few baits over before we cast it back out just to get them out to swim again.
It's the only spot on the lake which is producing bites.
I decided to put back leads on this time though, just like I don't get as many liners as before.
I've moved one of my rods, obviously. I was saying that I didn't have any rods to my right because there's people in there. I've actually moved one rod to the next swim and cast it more towards our water to a spot where apparently there was a big fish show last night and everyone on the other side heard it, but we didn't. But yeah, literally, we're just chilling out. I've just made a cup of tea. We're just going to watch the water and pray that a rod goes off before we go. But it's quite nice without the rain as well, Robbie, isn't it? It's finally, we've got, you know, it didn't rain throughout the night and it's not raining now, so that's happy days. But yeah, we'll have to see if anything else happens. Yeah, you'll be first to know if anything does. So yeah, we'll speak to you in a bit.
Right, well this is our closing vlog. The weather's been up and down. It's been a very gruelling session, but it's been a real eye opener to fish activity at this time of the year.
Just starting to wake up, and it's been quite amazing what we've seen. Really, no shows apart from night, particularly when it's overcast. Loads of bubbling, but no, you know, the odd fish touching the surface, but it's been proper slow. Conditions haven't been perfect. It's been very mild during the day and then cold at night. It just hasn't been ideal, but when I say cold at night, I mean it's dropped by about 4 degrees. Still very mild, but it has dropped, and I think sometimes it sort of makes the fish, you know, a bit up and down. But no, you know, we managed one fish, didn't we? So that was alright.
It was a nice fish.
That was a nice fish. I'm happy with that. Again, one fish came out last night on.
See overhang.
Liner. One fish has come out on the other side. It came out 17.5, I think. One of the unlucky, you know, sadly for that guy, probably one of the smallest in here. But when we went round, it was about an hour ago. He had the fish at 5:30, so you know all the water was still in the cradle. And as we looked a little bit closer, there was a lot of crumbed up nut mix, wasn't there, Robbie? Loads of it. So, and we asked him sort of where we had the bite from, and it's exactly a spot the when we got here. And we walked around with a bucket, we were baiting it, you know, we were putting, you know, we're just trickling it every hour, just sort of maybe 2 crushed up boilies, you know, just kept the chops going in, just to sort of see how they react to it. And I think, you know, if we just sort of prepared a couple of spots, didn't we? And we have had a bite off a prepared spot, and
I mean now it's gone really busy, so them spots have all
they've
been
moved.
being fished.
Yeah, it's got really busy now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 anglers around us now, not including us. But you know, they're all using, you know, different bait. We all found out what they're using, and the one bait which has been producing the bites is the marathon mix, the nut mix. And in the cradle was loads of it. It had been apparently just crapping it out, so they'd obviously been getting their heads down. He also had another. He think he had an aborted take off that spot as well, so they were obviously in there eating. It's definitely a bait that we're going to be trying this year.
You've used it before. But
I've used it before, but we're going to be, you know, we're going to stick on one bait this year. Keep feeding it on the waters we're going to fish. One thing which we have had time to do on this session is plan. Just plan where we're going to be fishing, and I think we're going to do a lot of time on the club lake. Just because there's so much more I want to learn about that water. And we've got our eye on a few different little waters as well, haven't we? Just to sort of see if we can catch any. And some big waters, yeah. Just to sort of
which we'll be saving for summer. But
yeah, I mean we'll probably be just walking around. There's one particular water which I've sort of told you about, and that's got a very big unknown in it. And I have a friend who has caught it before several times. So it's an unknown. It's only known by a couple of people. But no one knows how it was put in there. It's not a lake which was stocked with carp. It's basically a very small little natural estate lake. You know, loads and loads of weeds, lily pads. You know, gravel, you know.
Just a lovely looking lake.
Yeah, it's a headache as well, you know. Apparently it is one of the hardest places to sort of, you know, you can find them, but that's when it gets hard, you know, once you've found them, how to sort of approach them. So that's something which I will be sort of looking into later on in the year with Robbie. We'll definitely be down there for a few sessions when the weather warms up. Probably a couple of easier waters this year as well, just to sort of maybe get a couple of fish under our belt on the BM, you know, a couple of something to look into.
Maybe.
But predominantly this year we're just going to be testing out a couple of baits. We might even get one, just add a couple of things to it, just to sort of, you know, tweak it and see what we're getting bites on. Definitely this time the nutmegs has been working.
We will definitely be back this year to this lake.
We should be, once the summer hits, come back for a few cats maybe, or, you know, never, we don't know, but
40.
yeah, there's lots in there. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do our closing vlog now. Well, you've just had it, and if we do catch anything else, we will add it on, but at the moment, we'll see you next time. Yeah, see you next time.